Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. So in my today's video, I'm going to discuss with you about a company from cables and wire space. It's called V-Marc India Limited. So we'll understand the business model in short, what they actually do and what do they actually manufacture, and then go through their results and the management commentary and what are they actually trying to do. So if you look at this company, right, they manufacture cables and wires. So the various type of cables that they manufacture are high tension cable, low tension cables, building wires, and and industrial cables that they manufacture, and they sell it through various models: B2B, which is to EPC contractors; B2C, which is direct to the consumers, but through their dealers; then B2G, where they sell these cables and wires to the the government companies; and the last is their export. And if you look at their manufacturing facilities, right, so they have currently three manufacturing facilities, and the capacity currently that they have is around 2,12,600 kilometer wire capacity. So in cable and wire space, the capacity is measured in terms of kilometers. That means how much of cable can they produce. And in terms of in B2B side, they have around 150 plus turnkey EPC contractors. They have 1,200 plus dealer networks, and they're spread across around 24 states in India. So let's get into the results and see how well they have done. If we look at their Q4 FY26 revenue, the revenue grew by almost 97% to 1,105 crores, and PAT was up by almost 165% to 60.4%. So they were not just able to grow their revenue, but they were able to get amazing operating leverage. And if you look at the overall for the whole year for FY26, the revenue grew by almost 101% to 1,797 crores, and PAT was up by almost 178% to 100 crores. And EBITDA margin also improved to around 11.2%, and PAT was margin was up by around 5.6%. As per the investor presentation, the management is very clear that the growth was led by building wire and industrial cables, followed by high tension cables and expansion of their B2C network. And the expansion of B2C network is very important, is right, because the margins generally the company get into B2C network are quite high. And if you look at their, revenue breakdown as for the segment wise, so the high tension cable contributed to around 47% of the revenue. Building wires and industrial cable contributed to around uh, 38% of the revenue, and the remaining 15% was contributed to by around low tension cable. And if you look at their revenue breakdown as per the customers or the business that they do it, right. So for B2B, which is EPC contractors, contributed around 36% of the revenue. B2C, which is the dealer network, contributed to around the 36% of the revenue. B2G, which is government sales, contributed to around 25% of the revenue, and export, which is started only in FY26, contributed to around 3% of the revenue. So these were the main numbers. At the same time, let's look what is the guidance that the management is giving and what are they actually trying to do to achieve this guidance. So what the management is saying, right, that they plan to grow their revenue 40% plus over the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, that's a very, very big target, right? Because currently already they are doing around a revenue of around close to 1,800 crores. And if they're saying that they're going to go 40% over the next every year for the next 3 to 5 years, they have to do something really great. So if you look at their expansion plan, right, so they have something called as Vision 2030. What they're trying to do, right, they plan to increase their current installed capacity to around by 4 times. So if you remember earlier, I said that the current capacity is around 2,12,000 kilometers. So they plan to increase that to almost close to around 10 lakh kilometers. And the capex for this project is around 500 crores. So this is where the major growth is going to come from. Okay. And then from the current plan, recently what they did, right, they commissioned an additional beam and launched India's first e-beam submersible cable for agricultural purposes. At the same time, they also, entered into fast-moving electrical goods and launched switchgears and fan. And as I said, right, they started their export business from FY26, and they have set up a new office in Mumbai, and they plan to, expand their export business also. So this is what the company is trying to do. If you look at their FY26, they have done extremely well. And what plans they have for the next 3 to 5 years looks great on paper, right? Now, all we have to do whether they're able to execute or not, because there is no way a company can grow 40% plus unless and until they're able to expand their production facility, especially in the cables and wire space. So they have already have a plan to to expand their capacity by almost four times, taking their capacity from 2 lakh 12,000 kilometers of wires to almost 10 lakh kilometers. So we have to keep an eye, we have to track the businesses. And if anyone is planning to invest, please look into this, because I think it's quite a good opportunity. From the current few, if you look at the forward P and to the growth that we are getting, it's I personally feel it's quite a good deal at all. And if you guys like this video and the analysis, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.